Hey, so I've talked before about how because there is no time, right? The beginning and the end are one and the same. There is no end, there is no beginning because everything is just this continuous flow. And so what I want to talk about is how that relates to manifesting and how you can look at creating your life now that we have stepped into this new world where many of us will be stepping into our purpose. And you can really see it as done the moment your heart connects to a feeling and a thought about what you'd like to experience. If it's coming from your heart, it's coming from God within you. And so you can look at the trajectory or the experience that you'd like to have and just know that it's a done deal. From the standpoint of the universe, from the standpoint of whether or not you'll be able to experience this, it is a done deal. But because there's no time, there is going to be a path that you're going to have to walk down, because there's a lag between the thought and the manifestation and the physical reality. There's a lag between that and when you experience it in the physical reality. So there's going to be a path that you have to walk down, right? Like if I was to walk through the woods to get to this cabin that exists already, I'm never going to question whether or not I'm going to get there. I'm not going to question whether the cabin is there because I know it's there, right? So I just have to walk down the path and eventually I'm going to wind up there. Now there might be some twists and turns. An animal could jump out at me. I don't know, twist an ankle. Who knows? Whatever. I may meet somebody and stop and talk to them, but I'm going to get to that cabin. Okay. So it's the same thing when you are co-creating your wish that's coming from your heart. It will be fulfilled, but first you must see it as a done deal. And that's where the faith comes in. That's where the knowingness comes in. And so this lagging effect where you have this timeline trajectory that you're going to experience now as you go from the first thought of this desire to actually experiencing it and living it, there will be this timeline. And look at it like there's different versions of yourself, right? There's a version of yourself that is now at the proverbial cabin, experiencing life in the way that you've been manifesting and consciously creating for yourself through meditation, through clearing out the subconscious mind, through the things that help do that, like meditation and journaling. And so the version of you now is simply just not the version of you that will experience this manifestation in a future present moment. So that's how you can look at it, right? There's no time, but it's like a timeline, a trajectory. Because you're this energetic, spiritual being, God in human form, having this experience as this spiritual being, your true essence is energy. And everything in this field around us is energy. And so it's not that there's actual time out in the spirit realm, in these higher dimensions, these other dimensions. It's not like there's a clock, right? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, what time? That doesn't exist. It's just energy that exists. But within that field of energy is timelines. And so because you are creating, you create your reality from your thoughts. all of it. So if you knew you created your whole life from your thoughts and your feelings, and perhaps much of it was pre-planned or destined before you even incarnated here, but you do have free will to choose. So your thoughts and your feelings while you're here are creating that reality for you. And so if I want a new reality, how could it not be a done deal the moment I have the thought or the wish for that new reality? Now it's up to you to take the action that is necessary to become that version of yourself that is experiencing this desired manifestation. Does that make sense? In other words, you may be stuck in a career right now. You may have bills and a family to support. And you can't just pick up and leave because it's too big of a risk to go do something else or whatever. But that's just a physical representation of the current timeline that you're on. So as long as you're doing the inner work to become the version of you that has been able to move on somehow, as long as you know that in your heart that it's going to happen, and you just keep doing the inner work to transform yourself into that version that you want to experience, it will come. That is how it works. And it can't work any other way. That's the magic of it. But you must be open to any possibility along the way, right? Because when we are closed off to, like, our mind has a way of thinking about things that we want to experience that is so much less, how do I say this? Our mind is not capable of thinking about in an accurate fashion the way that things are going to unfold. And that's not up to us to have to figure that out. So much of this is about letting go of the fake illusion of the need for control, right? When you let go of the need to have control, you realize that's actually how you get control, because God's in control of everything. Not your mind, but God in your heart is in control of everything. And you actually don't need any control. You just need to have faith that everything is going to work out. Not in time or perfect divine time, because time's an illusion, but faith that it will work out once you get to that part of the timeline trajectory that you're on. And be positive. Be positive all day long. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this, whatever it is that you want to experience. Be grateful, appreciative of what you have now along the way. Because what will that do? Well, number one, it'll make you feel good, which is good, right? When you feel good, you feel God. But it will also allow you to expand more, or expand more of the things that you're grateful for. When we put our attention on something, it expands it, right? So think about how negative we can be. We've all been there. And it's like one negative thought creates more, and then just you have a really bad day and one thing after the next, and that turns into a month, a year, a life. But if you can reverse that, and everything that you think is positive, everything's always working out for me. Think of it like a video game. Your positive thoughts lead to more positive thoughts, to more positive thoughts, to actually being a positive person, to never thinking negative, to knowing everything's always working out for me, for my highest good. And that is the truth. Even all those dark times that you went through, be grateful for those. That is the magic right there. Be grateful for the pain. I have walked through fucking hell. Been brought to my knees more times than I can even remember. And you know what? I am so grateful for it, because without it, right, that was part of my timeline to get here. Without it, how could any of this have happened? I had to transmute all that pain into love. Let that all go. Let your past go. That's my signal. I gotta go. 11:11 on the clock. See you soon.